This is Jordan Fisher of Good Bones Properties and goodbonesproperties.com. And today in this video I want to talk to you about the appraisal process. Why you need an appraisal, when an appraisal is ordered, and how you can understand how an appraiser determines the market value of your property. Well, when you purchase a house, when you make an offer on a house and it gets approved, if you're getting a loan on the house, your lender is typically going to order an appraisal of that property to figure out the value of that property so they know how much to loan you money against it. Well, when they order an appraisal, they're going to make sure as a third-party objective appraiser, a licensed appraiser, do that appraisal of the property. There's a lot of fraud in the appraisal process, and they want to make sure that they have a third-party objective appraiser do it, so you get a real sense of the fair market value. So that your lender's not even going to know who the appraiser is, your real estate agent's not going to know, you're not going to know, but it will be a licensed appraiser to determine the value of that property. So what does an appraiser do? Well, they're going to show up at the property with a clipboard, with a tape measure or laser measuring device, and a camera. And one of the first things they're going to do is measure the outside of the house in dimensions to make sure the house is square, to make sure it was built correctly, because you really can't tell unless you look at some of the dimensions. They're also going to go in the house and take pictures of every room so they know how many rooms are in their house, not only how many bedrooms and bathrooms, but how many total rooms. Make sure, is there a separate den and a living room? Is there a separate dining room or a separate kitchen eat-in area? So they understand all the rooms, and they're going to make a note of all the features in the property. Does it have copper or galvanized plumbing? Is it an updated electrical panel, or is it knob and tube wiring? They're going to make a note, does it have an updated roof, or is a roof more than 20 years old and has outlived its useful life? Going to make a note of all these things, all these features in the house. Does it have a one-car garage, two-car garage, or a carport? The reason is they're going to take all these features so they get a full comprehensive view of the house you want to buy, so they can compare that feature for feature versus other sold properties in the very close proximity to really get a sense of the value of that house. So an appraiser is what they're going to do is, after they take pictures of every room, the front of the house, the street view, the address, they're going to have a list of comps. They're going to go to those comps, comparable properties in the immediate vicinity, and take pictures of the outside of the house. Then they're going to go back to their office, look at the multiple listing service, the MLS, at those comparable properties and compare them feature for feature versus the house you want to buy to determine the value. So they're going to go back and look within a quarter or a half mile of properties that have sold, not active comps, that have sold, usually within a 6-month, maybe a year, but typically 6-month time period to the house you want to buy to compare the value. So if a sold comp, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath comp, is very similar to the house you want to buy but only has a 1-car garage when you have a 2- or 3-car garage, your house is probably going to be worth a little more money, and that appraiser is going to subjectively add a little more money to increase the value of your house. So that's how they determine the appraisal value of your house. It's really important that you know that as well. Even if you were paying all cash, I would suggest you get an appraisal done by a licensed appraiser so you really understand the value of the property and from an objective third-party sense of view. So I hope you understand the appraisal process. I hope that gives you a better understanding, and I hope you understand from the lender's point of view why they want to do that. That appraisal process is so important because the lender is loaning you money, and if you were buying a $300,000 house, your offer is $300,000, the lender is going to come out and look to make sure it's $300,000. If that appraisal comes back at $280,000, $290,000, somewhere less than $300,000, that lender is probably not going to loan you the amount that they promised earlier. They're going to loan a little bit less. So it really protects them, it protects you, it protects the whole transaction process to make sure that appraisal is done right and everyone understands from an objective standpoint what the fair market value of that house is. I hope that helps you understand the appraisal process and why it's so important. I'll talk to you on the next video.